Can everybody hear me in the back? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, we're gonna start tonight's work session off. Just a quick mention, John Roofer isn't here tonight. It's our thoughts with him. He had a terrible bout with vertigo yesterday and he's still a little under the weather, so speedy recovery for him. So we'll get started tonight. Budget modifications, guys. Yeah, everybody get a chance to look at them?
Yes,
Anybody have any questions?
no,
All right, next is transfer 350,000 from the DA fund balance to the highway vehicle equipment reserve. Now, this is for that new truck that he's gonna probably be getting in the fall. So we're just moving it to that reserve fund to, have the money in that to cover them. Anybody have any comments on that?
no. I read it, no comments.
All right. Next, award the dump truck bid, which we had 2 dump truck bids. But no, we only had 1 bid for 2 dump trucks. So the Western Star single axle dump truck, which will be coming in this fall, is $327,650.00. The second truck, which is a Navistar single axle dump truck, that won't be coming in until next spring. I'm sure Tommy will be talking about it some more. That came in at $284,800. And we're gonna award that bid tonight to get these 2 new trucks to increase the fleet of the highway department. Everybody get a chance to look at that?
Yes,
Okay. Next is the camera system at the park. We've been having a lot of issues at the park. With some vandalism, people driving all over the park. So we do have cameras there. They're just kind of ancient. They're not really good. Can't even read a license plate when a car comes in. So we want to upgrade the system. So I got some prices on that system. The total amount to replace the kitchen building and the drama building at the park with a total of 3 cameras. Actually, 4.
8 cameras.
An 8 camera system, but it's only 4 cameras right off the bat. For 76.92. Oh, I'm sorry. It's for we have a 4-system camera system in both buildings. And we're gonna put 2 on each building for now, where we have cameras already. So that cost came in at $7,692 with an initial deposit of $3,842.
Okay, so but the bid is showing the quantity of 8 cameras.
It is total of 8.
Okay.
I seen it at the beginning of the week, so.
And then the second, I guess my question would be that they're showing a subtotal of a price and then underneath it, they relist what appears to be the server or something. for
Yes, we have to
$1,850.
put a new server in. Yep.
So we're putting 2?
Yes, 1 in each building because the buildings are so far apart that you can't link them together. So, and we're actually looking into better Wi-Fi there too, which we haven't gotten a hold of anybody yet, but. So it is 8 cameras.
Mike, do you know if there's license plate reader capabilities or?
No.
And any of them?
Just the picture is a lot better. Lot
Yeah.
better resolution on it, and so. It's cameras that we have here. We really like them here. We can read stuff in the parking lot.
Can you zoom any of them, do you know?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Yeah,
And move
that's
them.
good. Right,
Yeah,
PTZ,
yeah. So,
so that's good.
Um,
Yeah, that's a good price.
yeah, and then like I said, we're working on getting a better Wi-Fi system there. We're trying with Frontier, but we don't have the right cable going past the park. So we're looking into Spectrum too. So that's something that we're working on. So that would be on tonight's to approve the camera system so we can get started, hopefully by the time camp comes. Because like I said, with everybody's kids coming in, you know, it's real important to keep an eye on everything. Any other questions on that? I kind of butchered it a little bit, so.
Well, the estimate was not clear.
Next is a dangerous and unsafe structure. So Mary came to us with an unsafe structure at 20 Old Turnpike Road on May 21st, 2024. It's been in violation for 3 years since 2019. They did some work on it. They never finished. It's really gutted inside. It's really a total, like it could fall down at any time. So I'm gonna have Ben talk about this a little bit more because he's been looking into all the things that we have to do to bring this person and get him a due process to talk about what he's gonna do with it.
Right, okay, so the board has the report from the town building inspector, stating that the building is unsafe. If the board proceeds, the resolution for tonight is to confirm the building inspector's report and to schedule a due process hearing for the property owner for May 21 at 6 p.m. And if the board does that, then in the next day or two, I'll serve a notice of due process hearing on the property owner. And that's their opportunity to come in before the town board to try to explain that the building is not unsafe or to give a schedule of when they're going to fix it up. And
So-
ultimately, if that doesn't happen, the board has the authority to hire a contractor to demolish and remove the building at the property owner's expense. And if not paid, then that charge goes on the tax bill.
So if we approve it tonight, then he's not gonna get served until the 21st.
No, he'll get served ideally sometime this week
Okay, and then he'll have to be here
or for the
on the
21st.
21st.
Correct.
So, and then he'll explain to us why he's not doing what he's doing, and then we'll, as a board, will either give him a time limit or we'll, listen to what he has to say, and if he gets it done, he gets it done. But we can set a time limit, give him a month, 2 months, 3 months to get it down.
Correct. And that's typically what a board does.
Okay.
So I just have one question, and I asked Mary this, Ben, and she said I should ask you. Do we have to get like our engineer involved at all for this, or is Mary's? And again, I'm not questioning Mary.
No, I know.
But the law and common sense sometimes are different.
Nope, had the same thought, and I think it probably is a good idea that you have the engineer. That won't delay anything. We can get him out here, prior to the hearing is all we need, but I agree. I think that is a good idea.
And then we can add his cost to him also.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? About that?
I think it's time to move it along.
Yeah, I actually drove by it. It's a mess and it's all overgrown, so I haven't done anything in years with it. All right, next is highway superintendent term of office. I'll talk to Tom. Tom, do you want to read your letter quick? Or you want us to just talk about it? Okay, so me and Tom have talked about this in the past. The highway superintendent job is a job that in 2 years, you really can't do what you need to do. So to run an election every 2 years for somebody that has to create a plan, a 5-year plan and everything else, it's kind of tough. And I agree with him that, the highway superintendent should be a 4-year term. So, like I said, I'm behind it as going to a 4-year term. We have to do a process. I have a public hearing at the next meeting. And then there's a 30-day permissive referendum, and then it would go on the ballot in November to, have the public decide whether or not they want it to go to a 4-year term. It's just not, we just can't decide, and it makes it a 4-year term. So the public out there has to be, but we have to do it now so it can be on the ballot for November. And then the public can decide from there. So
Just one clarification, it's not a permissive referendum, it's mandatory.
Oh,
It,
Okay.
it has to go on the ballot. Permissive is when you had the 30-day period for somebody to submit a petition.
Right.
And request a referendum. That's not the case here.
but we have to wait for 30 days after the hearing, public hearing.
Well, the law doesn't, you adopt the law the same night, but the law doesn't take effect unless it's approved at the election.
Okay, okay, that, and you gave us the law.
Yep, you have all that wording.
Right, so does anybody have any questions, maybe even for Tommy or?
No, I mean, as with an awful lot of things, initially, it sounds like it makes a lot of sense to me. And I think one of the reasons that it's being brought before the public is to get everybody else's idea. So often you'll look at something and see it only in one direction, and then somebody will get up and say, hey, why would you do that? There's all these terrible reasons not to. I haven't been able to think of those terrible reasons. It would be nice to give, the highway superintendent some time to put a plan in place and move forward with it. So at this point in time, I'm in favor, and I'd love to hear what other people have to say.
Anybody else?
I would just add that if he gets, let's say he lost the next election, every 2 years is a chance that the new superintendent would have to inherit his plans and his ideas, and
That doesn't.
that would be kind of choppy.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea.
Anybody else? No, okay. Next is the CHIPS agreement. Tom got his 284 together about what he's gonna do this year. So if everybody had a chance to look at it,
Yep.
that's his plan for this year. It's quite a bit, and I think he'll do a good job getting everything done. So. Anybody have any questions for him on that 284?
Just never seems to go far enough.
Okay. All right, with that said, then we'll start the business meeting then. Pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everybody. So right off the bat, we're gonna do a public comment for anything that was on the work session. So if anybody has anything to say, they can come up. Oh, and anybody, go ahead. Anybody that comes up, Karen put a sheet up there to jot down your name. Yes. The last meeting, she got a request about who spoke, and we're not really sure how to spell everybody's name, so.
I have my list much shorter than last time, but actually my comment during this session is just, I would strongly support your extension of the term for the highway superintendent. I think it's a really good idea. A lot of times as the public, something comes up and we do or don't like something, and by the time we tell the highway superintendent about it, if they're gone, then they're gone. I just think it's a great idea, so I support it.
Thank you, Karen. Anybody else? Go ahead, Chris. No, Karen knows your name, so.
I'm gonna throw a few things in there all together at once. One thing is, with the two trucks you mentioned, why are we not getting the same manufacturer?
Well, one was kind of already in the works of being made, and it was a good truck. Tommy can explain more of that to you.
I wasn't, I'm just curious. I didn't want to get into the nuts and bolts because I know you guys know what the hell you're talking about.
He'll mention it in his report, Chris. He'll let you know.
I think I mentioned this a couple of times over the last 2 years. We haven't had very good luck with the cameras down in the park because they were stolen. So comically, can we get insurance for the theft of the cameras? Just.
That's a good idea.
And also, as I was daydreaming outside there, on top of this pilaster out there, there's some black looking thing. What is that?
Oh, on the pillar?
Yeah, just wanted to know one of those. Is
Yeah.
that something solar? or-
Yeah, it's a solar. We put some lights so you could see the name of Town of Mamakiting at night.
Oh,
It's just a little thing that we put up.
amazing.
Thanks, Chris. Anybody else have anything for the work session? No? Brittany, you have anybody online?
I do. Emily?
Okay,
Yes, I actually do support the 4-year term for the highway superintendent. I think it's a great idea. I really do.
okay. Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.
Jackie?
We got another one. Go ahead, Jackie. Jackie? Is there something wrong, Brittany?
She's not responding. She said that she has the report for Meek, so maybe we can try again later.
Okay. You got anybody else, Brittany?
You put this up on the screen right now.
Brittany, you got anybody else?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get Jackie.
I'll come back to her when we go to committees.
Okay, then we're all good.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Chris.
If Ben can learn more about the construction business, maybe he could, fold some of that stuff together. It might be a little bit cheaper for us to have him because he's becoming more knowledgeable about the construction trades, miscellaneous things of that nature, condemning a building, for example. Just a thought.
Okay, he just knows the legality of it, so.
I have no idea what he's talking.
All right, next is Highway Superintendent Report.
Good evening. We've started mowing around town, so we have one mower out in Wardsboro, another one out in Bloomingburg. We'll be continuing that process throughout the spring and summer months. We've also been busy with the hot box patching all the potholes. After we're done with that, we're gonna start the more labor-intensive process of using the drag box and fixing some shoulders. And of course, we're gonna start prepping the roads that are getting resurfaced that are on the 284 plan in the upcoming weeks. So with that, we already cleared all the brush and all the old trees off the roads. We're gonna completely resurface, so now we just have to ditch them and change out the old pipes to the newer style pipes. And then we'll be ready for the resurfacing of the roads on the plan. We did receive our CHIPS allocation for the year. There were no changes. Didn't go up, didn't go down. So unless something emergent arises, we should be able to complete everything on the 284 with a little money to spare, which will allow us to maybe Band-Aid more appropriately some roads that are not due to get resurfaced for a few years. Again, I always push that we need the CHIPS funding. With the road line alone, we wouldn't be able to do a third of the roads that we're gonna be able to do in any given season. And prices are just continually rising, so the little bit of offset that the state provides is a help. Some may know, some may not, there's actually a new law involving hauling for aggregates for municipalities, which will require them to pay prevailing wage for anything over 50 miles. So that's gonna put a couple dollars a ton on stone and stuff if we're taking it in from somebody that's more than 50 miles away. That hasn't been passed yet, but that's just an example of, we use those 1A stones and say they're coming from far away and we're having them transported more than 50 miles. That's gonna add a bit to the price of resurfacing a road. And we're already kind of, limited on what we can do in a year. I want to thank the few groups that have taken the time out the last couple of weeks to clean up the sides of the road. Matt, you spearheaded Sharonda Lodge. I'm forgetting her name, bear with me, but she's from Pine Bush, and she did Neshoba Road with a bunch of students. They leave the garbage on the side of the road, we pick it up, and I think it's a great service to the town. Great, that's right. With that said, it's now nice out, so all the people that feel they could just leave their part in the French crap garbage on the side of the road have started. We've been in contact about a disgusting pile on Wood Road that's got somebody's address from Loch Sheldrake. We're just talking C and D and trailer loads of stuff that people just feel it's okay to bring, around. So we're working with the DEC to try to get some answers on that. And of course, we're going to clean that all up as well. But that is a big problem. It's a disgusting problem, and I can't stand littering anyway. So let alone when somebody just blatantly disregard for, other people's welfare and does that, I can't stand it. But we will attend to it as we get reports of it. The couch appeared on Sharonda Lodge Road this morning somewhere, so we'll be getting to that this week too. I don't think it came from your house. So, so as we hear about it, we'll clean it up, and we are working with authorities to try to curtail it a little bit, but it's definitely a growing problem. To Chris's question and to the for the work session in regards to the 2 trucks, just one amendment to that. It's not really going to add to our inventory, it will replace. So we'll be taking 2 older pieces of equipment and getting rid of them. Again, this kind of goes part and parcel with a longer term for the position. If you can get somebody with a decent plan in place to cycle these vehicles out every few years, and by big trucks, maybe 10 or 15 or even 20 if the vehicles are that steadworthy, you save a lot of time on repairs and the such. So anyway, to specifically answer your question, there's a pretty big issue getting trucks. So if we were to actually order a truck, what we wanted, it'd take about 2.5 years. And that will take longer now, because there's new emissions coming in 2027, and there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market as to what's going to happen. So a lot of these bigger manufacturers, they're just not pumping out trucks. That's what I've been told. So these 2 specific trucks were trucks that were already spec'd out by a company, and we were able to get one of them. But because we didn't spec it out and it wasn't on state bid, that's why it went out to public, referendum, and we had to vote on it. But that's why it wasn't the same 2 vehicles, because they were kind of different. Same manufacturer, but he had his hand on 2 trucks. Yeah.
The price difference, is that they're similar trucks, but they're different?
The Western Star has a much bigger motor, so that's why it's going to be a little bit more expensive. That one we should see before snow flies, and the other one should be in Q1 of 25. Again, so they say. And that is all I have. I would just like to quickly say, I suppose I'm in favor of a longer term for the highway superintendent for obvious reasons. However, I would also say that in the past few years, we've been given reason to think about that. There's pros and cons, so I think that's why this due process gives everybody a chance to think about the opportunities that a 4-year term presents, and also the potential drawbacks, and I'm sure there's a bit of both. So I just appreciate you bringing it to the table so people can consider it, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. All right, next is supervisor's report. I only have a couple things. On June 8th is a Saturday at noon. We're going to be doing a dedication for Dennis Greenwald out front. We got him a bench. We planted a tree in his memory. So the reason why it took so long, the family couldn't set a date. So they finally came back to me and just said, pick a date and that will be there. So, so on June 8th, we're going to do a little dedication out front for Dennis Greenwald. Everybody's welcome to come. Next is, the pool's almost done. I don't know if anybody's driven up through the park or anything like that lately. We have one little spot that has to be kind of jackhammered out and filled back in. But because it's water's coming out of it when there's a lot of groundwater. But once that's fixed, then the pool should be done in a day or two. So we're waiting to get that done. I'm hoping this week, but depends on the weather. The other thing with the park, last week, me and Brittany met with P&N Alarm that did the fob system in here for the park, for the buildings. Now, how that would work right now, on Fridays, we give the key to the kitchen building or the drama building, whoever rents it out. They pretty much have the key for the whole weekend. So a lot of times they'll come in early on Friday nights, set up or do things, and they're really not supposed to. Then we've had issues where two people are there at the same time and we end up telling the other person he can't come in until the next day. So this fob system would work just like it does in here. Brittany would be able to set up the exact time when somebody can come in. And at the end of the day, once it's done, their party's done, they can't get back in. So it shuts that fob off. And then the person that rents it for the next day, same thing, their fob starts at a certain time and then they have to leave. When they leave, they can't get back in. So it's something I'm looking into, where I'll talk to the guys when I get the price and run that by everybody. Maybe it's something we'll do soon. So, and it'll just be a little bit more able to control the situation over there. Next is a lot of Memorial Day events coming up. Brittany posted a lot of them online today. So there's some parades, there's some ceremonies that weekend. They do some at the cemeteries. Summitville does one at their little park. And then we have the parade on Monday. So I encourage everybody to come out, hopefully it's a beautiful day and support the VFW and the American Legion. So that's all I really have for today. And then, so we'll go to the next. Next is the 2024 abstract number 9 for $212,163.61.
Yeah, I just recused myself the last time. Should I be recusing myself when my dad's on the abstract? It makes sense, right?
No, I think you don't have to. You should make the statement that, his company's on the abstract. But there's no reason, there's so many other payments on there, so I don't think you should need to recuse yourself, as long as everybody is aware of the situation. I think we all are.
Okay.
One of the biggest ones, which we're kind of excited about that is on the abstract, is the kayaks. So hopefully that'll kick in soon and we'll get going on that. So anybody have any questions about the abstract?
No. Make a motion to accept the abstract.
Motion by Peter,
Second.
second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. All right, there was a manual check, number $21,439 for $600 to Jim Johnson Electric. When they were doing some work around the pool, trying to get some of the water relieved away from they were trying to dig a sump pump. They had an electric line that wasn't marked. So Jim, it was an emergency repair. He came in and fixed it for us. So we had to write him a manual check. So, anybody have any objections about that? Can I get a motion to accept the manual check?
Motion.
Motion by Matt, second by Tyler, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is approval of the financial reports. Anybody got a chance to look at it? Certainly did.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to accept?
Motion.
Motion by Matt, second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of the minutes of 4/16/24.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Peter, second by Tyler. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, off to the resolutions. Resolution number A, approve budget modifications.
Motion.
Motion by Gary,
Second.
second by Peter, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. B, approve transfer of $350,000 from the DA fund balance to the Highway Vehicle Equipment Capital Reserve Fund.
Motion.
Motion by Matt,
Second.
second by Peter, all in favor?
Aye.
Award bids for the 2 dump trucks for Amthor's Welding for the West Star at $327,650 and the Navistar at $284,800 to come out of the Highway Vehicle Equipment Reserve Funds, subject to a permissive referendum. Motion by Tyler,
Second.
second by Peter, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve 2 security camera systems for the kitchen building and the drama building at the park from Acafade in the amount of $7,692 with the initial deposit of $3,842.
Motion.
Motion by Gary,
Second.
second by Matt, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, schedule unsafe building due process hearing regarding 20 Old Turnpike Road for May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Motion by Peter,
Second.
second by Matt, all in favor?
Aye.
Set a public hearing to change the term of office for the highway superintendent from 2 years to 4 years on May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. Motion by Tyler,
Second.
second by Matt, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, approve the 284 agreement for 2024.
Motion.
Motion by Gary,
Second.
second by Tyler, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, we're off to committees. We have a couple reports. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I do. Report from, our assessor for the month of April. She received a total of 26 deeds. 24 of them were in the town and 2 of them were in the village of Wurtsboro. She issued a number of permits processed for valuation and non-value were 58. Out of that, it was 43 for the town, 3 for the village of Bloomingburg, and 12 for the village of Wurtsboro. Exemptions that were received, about the only ones that listed right now is for fire and EMT for the tax exemptions. There were 34 exemptions received for that tax break. Reassessments to process for possible stipulation. Instead of going to grievance, there are 8. So if you have a issue with your tax bill and you think your assessment's too high, you can go in ahead of time. You don't need to come to grievance board. The village of Bloomingburg had 44 parcels that were affected by value in the amount of $2,843,000. The village of Wurtsboro had 24 parcels that were affected by value to the amount of $355,110. Town of Mamakating had 248 parcels that were affected by value in the amount of $6,480,565. That's a really good question.
I had the same question. It's okay to say, I don't know.
Yeah. I'll ask. Good. They were affected. That's what it says. It doesn't say they were reduced or increased. It says they were affected. So it could have gone either way or both.
Were these like negotiated out before going into the
There were-
grievance process?
No, the negotiations that were the stipulations, there were 8 of them that were done. So 8 people came in and hammered out the differences, what they thought, instead of going to grievance. As far as what the effective values are, no idea. I will inquire and inform the good people of that when I learn.
Thanks, Peter.
You're welcome. Just got this report today, so I didn't have a chance to ask.
Jim, you want to do yours? then?
Yeah, I'll read the town clerk report if there's any questions. She's right here. For April 2024, handicap parking permits, 28 of them, same as, I'm gonna compare to March, same as March. 8 marriage licenses in April, up 5. That's good.
We had
Two-
one- We had one. We had one today, right here, right?
Well, we had 8 marriage licenses, but 2, I have a question on what this is. 1-day marriage efficient license.
That's,
Oh. Oh, thank you. 11 conservation licenses, 29 dog licenses and renewals. 11 Tara certificates to get your pet spayed or neutered. 42 notarizations. She was busy. 24 certified copies for vital records. Way up compared to 3. And there's a paragraph here at the end of April. Karen attended the New York State Town Clerks Association Conference. The conference provided valuable education and professional development and the opportunity to network with other town clerks and representatives from state agencies. Submitted respectfully by Karen L. Barclay. And I may have an update to Tom's, I don't know if you want me to say it now. The highway superintendent mentioned some dumping on Bud Road that was reported by a concerned citizen with a photograph. Those emails came out, I think, yesterday around the town, and the town board has a very good working relationship with the local DEC. They were contacted, they're on it, and I can report now that as of an hour ago, I was told that DEC Officer Small, I think it's Small, tracked down the PO boxes that were in the letters, spoke to a female from Sullivan County who said that her fiance was supposed to dump all that stuff. So it was a lot. It was a lot. You saw the picture. Maybe that'll be on next month's because this is May. That was for April. So anyway, really good job by DEC. Good job reporting by everybody. I guess they're going to, he's potentially going to receive a ticket from DEC, which is not good for him. And he's going to have to clean it up to the likings of the building inspector. And that's where that stands now. Messages, don't dump in the town of Mammogating.
That's a great outcome.
That's a great outcome within like a couple hours. That's pretty good. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jim. Tyler, you got yours?
Yeah, I got 2. So I think he had 8 dogs loose this month, or in April, and unfortunately there was 2 surrenders. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Should have finished with that one. And then for Parks and Rec, summer camp registration is off to a great start. They already beat last year's registration numbers on the first day. The community camp garden has been planted. The tennis and pickleball courts are ready for the next steps to be paved. And like Mike said, the pool repair is more than halfway complete. And that was it.
Thanks, Tyler. Matt, do you have something?
I got a few announcements.
Okay.
First off, as Superintendent Morrow talked about earlier, we had a litter pluck on Shawang Lodge Road. I want to thank everybody that turned out to help clean up the road. It was a decent turnout with some really enthusiastic people, and I want to thank those folks. And I'd like to thank Superintendent Morrow and the Highway Department for their participation in making this happen. I also want to remind folks that we got some upcoming school budget votes on May 21st. I know of 3 school districts in my ward. One of them, Pine Bush, has moved the voting booths to the Circleville Elementary School. For people that in Mamakating that have, that are in the Pine Bush School District. And the hours are 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. The Circleville Elementary Schools at 2000 State Route 302. Ellenville, their Ellenville Central School District, their voting hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They're at the senior high school in the media center. That is located at 28 Maple Avenue. And the Monticello School District here at the Emma Chase School on Pennsylvania Avenue, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I urge people to participate in this. I hear a lot of talk about how high taxes are, and I got to say this, the town's portion and the county's portion is, people work hard to keep these budgets under control. A large part of our tax bill is the school taxes, and we need to participate more in this process to try to keep these taxes in check. Make sure people in power know that they're being watched during this process. One other announcement, the Phillipsport Community Center, their music night is starting up this coming Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. It's $10 at the door, and the band playing that night is the Hudson Valley Bluegrass Express. And I can assure you a good foot tapping time. Please stop by, and thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
One other thing.
Go ahead, Matt.
It's bear season. Please, folks, talk to your carters if they could supply some kind of bear-proof cans, or you can purchase them at Ace Hardware. I know it's asking a little bit of a down payment, but it's that time of year, and our responsibilities with litter don't always end on our curbs. So that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Brittany, did we get Jackie's thing taken care of where she can talk?
I've asked her to unmute, and if she's able to do it, then she'll do it.
Okay.
If not, she gave me something to read.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read what Jackie had said. She's still having some difficulties.
Okay.
She said that she wants to mention that on Saturday, May 11th, the Fairy Festival is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Environmental Center. They have approximately 50 families signed up to build fairy houses on the trails using only items found in nature, and they will also have activities and food.
Is that it, Brittany?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I just want to give a shout out to the Meek also. They're really killing it this year. They've had a lot of people come this year. They're doing a great job. Jackie's doing a wonderful job, and we have a part-timer out there. Ashley, she's doing a wonderful job, and some interns also. So I just wanted to give the Meek a shout out. They're really doing a good job this year and getting everything moving faster over there and doing a great job. So with all their programs. So, all right. Any other announcements? Go ahead, Verdan.
We found stuff. Thank you, guys. It's environmentally safe, it's good, and it cleans the stones at the cemeteries. Makes them nice and white and able to read. So it's essential to me who are still working on recognition for soldiers and trying to identify them in our cemeteries. Which will both, we can do something with. Very busy this month. Meetings all over the place between Tika and HTTHC, whatever you want to call it. They've been all over it, and I went to High Point and met with, Bill Merchant and, Canal and, thank you, Jim, for the, announcement last night at the village. I've been appointed the village historian also.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Well, Verdan, do you know where you can purchase that material?
yeah, we got it from, well, Brianna gave me the card and we ordered her 5 gallons and we're gonna get her another 5 gallons here coming up. But if you're friends with Brianna online, you can see the work that she's done on these stones and it's really, it shines them up really great. So,
Mhm.
There's been 2 stones in Sylvan Cemetery that have kept people at bay for a very long time, because we knew they were there, but it was amongst 4 that were completely black. One of them being Captain David Doris, Revolutionary War. He was a hero and he's buried in our cemetery. Wasn't raised here, but came here as a land speculator after the fact that he had been wounded and worked the last few years at West Point. So then he came here, and his development in this area is very, very good. The other one would be, I'm not sure how he's related, but his stone means David Doris. And he is the first person who was buried in that Sylvan Cemetery. His death date is 1812. So that's important we need something. And this is the kind of information that this stuff reveals to us. So we can find these people and give them their due. This month also, we'll be putting out with the flags as usual for the praise with the American Legion and the PFW. Something that's really near my. Thank you.
thank you, Brianna. Oh, on that note with the veterans too, I don't know if anybody's noticed driving through Wurtsboro. They put up a ton of veterans flags for Memorial Day. And actually the town did some today out in Somerville. So, and they're selling more and more to VFW every day. Mr. Fowler, who's helping with running the flags, said they got probably another 60 ready to go. So it should be a good thing to have everything through the town, all these veterans, pictures up on the, throughout the streets. All right, with that said, any other announcements? No? All right, we're gonna go to public comment, 3 minutes each individual, 30-minute max for any new business. Go ahead. No.
Person here is the opposing, the proposed faith-based affordable housing act. As of last night, there were 2 thoughts on this. One said that the legislature has tabled it. The other said it's still ongoing. In short, this is a letter to the governor, Governor Hochul. Insofar as what that proposal was 30 dwelling units per acre. So of the supervisors, these president of Sullivan County Association of Supervisors, our supervisor was one of 13 that sent this letter. So is it still active and still current as of last night? I don't know. So here we go back to this thing with I found my old literature back with this stuff with the corridors, the Route 17 corridors. So here's my literature back in 2024. The same nonsense was then as it is today. They have, by the way, I'll get to that in a moment, another meeting coming up. I'll get to that in a moment. So back in the day with this in the agenda, this $1 million grant for this study, that was back in 2012. So this whole fiasco runs from anywhere from 800 million, this is an old number that I quoted because I was there, to $3 billion with a high density lane, which would be 3 lanes coming, going, and blah, blah, blah. With the other options, we could be as much as $12 billion. Kiddingly, the only thing that I come up with that they didn't have was a heliport. Everything else they mentioned. So I will shorten this up. So we have this next meeting again, for those of you that like to go. And whatever. So here's the next meeting, the same place it was the last time. Wednesday, May 15th, from 1 PM to 3, and from 5 PM to 8. Town of Walk Hill Community Center, so on and so forth, Warren Drive, which is basically next to Fair Acres, Adams Fair Acre Farm in Middletown, so it's basically right next to that, same place. And I could say it's probably the same BS.
Thanks, Chris. Anybody else? Go ahead, Mary Alice.
My comments relate to the highway department, and I have enormous respect for our highway crew and especially Tommy Morrow, our superintendent. We appreciate his leadership, and he's somebody who's approachable, so I actually spoke to him on the phone earlier today about an issue that came up at the Bashakill. So again, I think we can get along, and yet we don't always agree on things. So that's the context here. I'm not real happy to be here with a critique, but I got a text last night, and then I actually was out at Haven Road this morning, planned to meet a friend to walk there, and yesterday the shoulders were mowed in an excessive fashion. That's my term. So we're talking going out into the low growth of bushes and small trees. And I've lived around here more than 30 years. I've never seen Haven, as I spoke to Tom earlier today, I've never seen it mowed like that. And he explained that it isn't a new mower, you know, it was acquired back at the time of the Herman administration, but I've seen that kind of cutting on South Road in the exterior areas, but the problem at, you know, right in the center of the Bashakill wetlands, those trees we're talking about, that's habitat for birds and also butterflies. When I happened to be there this morning, 2 of our main expert birders were there, one of whom is a biologist, professional biologist. They were very, very upset, and it changes the vista, really. And again, I mean, the main reason I chose to live in this area is the Bashakill. It's an enormous economic driver for our community. We've shown that in the BKA. We've shown visitors come from all over, you know, whether it's downstate, upstate, and they're spending their money here, gas, food. So it's an important economic driver, and really Haven Road is you could call it the centerpiece as far as access to the Bashakill. So again, within the context of friendly communication, working things out, Tom explained to me the laws that are driving his actions, which I can appreciate. I would just suggest that if it's possible, you know, I would appreciate, I think it would be really helpful if the highway superintendent on behalf of the town could meet with a few environmentalist biologists to talk about future mowing that maybe wouldn't get up into the small trees and bushes. I just think I'm all about people getting together and talking and working things out. Again, Tom is, you know, he's got the constraints that are there around his position, which I respect. But there are other issues at hand here. So if a mediate, if a get together, talk together was possible, I would throw that out as a possible suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Kath. Oh,
I just forgot something that came up at the meeting last night. It's pretty much a done deal that 114, exit 114 is going to be closed, and I guess they're going to use that as some kind of a on and off for the emergency people to be able to basically keep it and have some kind of gating, if you will. It's pretty much determined, that I listened to some of the people have a lot more knowledge than I'll ever have. That 115 is scheduled to be worked on, and I guess, I don't know the particulars about what they're going to do there. So I knew something was up when you come off exit 115 and you head up towards the Burlingham Road. So over to the side where the water in the ditch is, I call them surveying pink ribbons. There's a bunch of miscellaneous ones all through there. I just assumed something is going to happen there one way or the other, so I don't know. I just thought I'd throw some more wood to the fire to inflame the situation.
okay. Thanks, Chris.
I'm the only person who spoke tonight? Nice too. So I have two comments. With respect to the issue of the mower and the trees, I got a couple phone calls this afternoon too. And I don't like that mower thing, but I know, and I know it preceded you because we had at least 2 mowings at Yankee Lake, and when I tell you hair on fire, people, hooey. So I understand the issue. And I'm certain, I'll echo Mary Allison's thoughts about habitat and all of that. But I wondered if there was just a way that when we're gonna mow certain areas, if you could give those areas, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks notice and say, we're planning to do these areas this spring. And if people want to go out and trim their own trees and make sure that their trees are out of the roadway, or make sure that Haven Road is well trimmed, that might give them a chance to do the job before you come in with the tree shredder. I don't know, just my thought. And by the way, this is just another example of something where at least we up at Yankee Lake had communicated with previous highway superintendents, and Tommy doesn't even have the benefit of knowing that those communications happened. So it's another good example of the 4-year thing, in my opinion. The other thing is my friend Elizabeth Zambudo is not able to be here tonight, but she asked me if I would come and publicly thank Tommy and his team for their quick work in repairing the bridge over the Yankee Lake outlet stream. Now she can speed across it again at high speed without any trouble. She didn't say that, that was my own commentary, but anyway, she said, thank you very much for that. She really appreciated it, and the whole team. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Anybody else?
Sorry, not to beat a dead horse. I'm here on behalf of the Bashkill Association. And first, we wanted to thank the Town Highway Department for helping us with our annual cleanup. It went really well, and we appreciate their help. With regards to the mowing, we just kind of were wondering if maybe it could be done at a different time of year, or like Kathy said, if it could be done, if we could get some kind of notice and maybe we could go through ahead of time and prune. Just because some of those trees got torn up pretty bad, and it's a huge disturbance to the birds at a really delicate time when they're nesting and having their babies and everything. It's also really destructive to the young trees in the area. Apparently that the type of damage that gets done to the trees, like they look shredded. That type of damage promotes disease in the destroyed trees, which can spread to the healthy trees. So maybe if it could just be done in a different way, if the tree is too close, it can cut down or something. Just more, pruned a little bit nicer than just hack jobbed with an old mower. But, I guess that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No, no, but we don't need visual aid. Third time? Now I'm gonna give you like 9 minutes. Actually, me and Tommy talked about that the other day, and we're gonna start putting something out to bid for a tree company to come in, give us a price and accept their bid to get them started going around the town and getting the most dangerous trees, which Tom's gonna work on. All right. That's, thanks, Chris. Brittany, you have anybody online?
Debbie Nathan?
Okay. Debbie?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had a question about the opening of the pool. I think I remember last month and at one of the meetings, there was an announcement that the pool would probably open by Memorial Day. Is that still scheduled?
We're hoping so, yep. It depends on the weather.
Okay, so if the weather's good, it'll open on Memorial Day or when?
Usually that weekend.
All
But
right, thank you.
if the weather's still kind of cold, then we wait a week or two.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brittany, you got anybody else?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. All right, with that being said, there's no executive session tonight. So can I get a motion to adjourn? Motion by Tyler,
Second.
second by Gary, all in favor?
All right, hi.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. We're meeting again on May 21st. Thank you.